I'm going to ask a question. What is going on with Khabib and Tony? Did Khabib, before his fight with Poirier, call out Tony, but now after the fight is saying it won't be Tony, it's going to be GSP. GSP is not even at the table. Now, all I can interpret through that is this is some kind of gamesmanship and some kind of an annoying thing that we all have to live through as Khabib goes and tries to not honor his contract and do a new one with the UFC. That's the only thing I can make sense of, okay? So, if it's not going to be, which it's not going to be George, but if it's not going to be Tony, who Khabib said it's going to be, and by the way, where's Tony at on this whole thing? I hear Tony calling out Khabib. How come I don't hear a date set? How don't I hear more about, yeah, we're talking and UFC's in the middle of it and we're trying to find an arena now? Why does none of this exist? I don't have the answer. I do have the answer historically in other fights that have been like this, because everybody wants to come out and be a tough guy for the camera, and behind scenes, they don't want to do it. They need a huge carrot dangled in front of them. They will operate from the stance of, I am so good and I am so successful and I am so big that you must pay me this. What they're really saying is, I don't know if I can beat this guy. It's going to hurt everything that I have, from sponsorships to relationships to political influence. It's going to hurt everything I have. I'll go out there and take the risk and find this out the hard way, but you're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to make up for everything that I am going to lose. That's what's really said. Anytime you hear a guy come out and tell, I'm so great and my resume is so great, you got to pay me that. Anytime you hear any reason for somebody not wanting to fight, it goes back to playground rules. You never saw a kid in class refuse to step behind the playground at 3 o'clock, unless he didn't think he could beat the guy. Then he had all sorts of reasons, from my mother's coming to my girlfriend told me no to I hit so hard. This was always my fault. I hit so hard, I don't want to hurt you, and therefore I'm not even going to try. Okay, great. The old karate, right? Why is a karate guy never go into MMA? Well, their moves are just so deadly, or with the Navy SEALs that can kill you 7 different ways with their thumbnail. You just have this level of ridiculousness, but the answer is still the same. I don't want to do it. And the real truth is, I'm going to save face and I'm going to stand here because I got to come back tomorrow and you're all my classmates and I do respect your opinion. That guy's going to beat my ass and I'm not going behind the slide. Great. But when you hear these MMA guys or boxing guys or anybody attempt to negotiate through the media and the public, that's all they're trying to do, is they're trying to save face. And there does appear to be something from one of those two camps that's amiss here. Something. Somewhere, even if you were sworn to secrecy on a negotiation, and I've been in the business a long time, been on every side of the business, from a promoter to an athlete to a coach to a commentator. There's no part of this business I haven't touched. There is something about a guy keeping completely silent that there's good reason for, that he doesn't want out. Generally, a guy, he just couldn't bottle it up. I mean, we just saw it 2 weeks ago with John Jones. They call John Jones, they're getting some fight for him. John, don't say anything. We're going to make our own announcement. He can't. He's got to type out, I've got an announcement. I can't say what it is, but I have one. That's very normal. That's how most guys would react. They would keep doing medias. They would keep out there. They would do their level best to keep people interested without them competing, but they would be saying something. Even if the something was, hey, I got something and I can't even tell you what it is, but I swear I have it. These guys are being unusually quiet. And if that is a contract ploy, it's dishonest to the highest of levels, because you both have a contract. So we really don't have anything to talk about here unless you're a dishonest guy. Then you could turn the gun back on me. You could do that. I'm the one that gave you the gun. I'm the one that loaded it for you. But you do have the option to point it at me, and I guess I'm going to have to do it your way if you're holding the gun. But it's still a cop-out. So not only are you a man that doesn't have integrity if you're attempting to do that, you're also not a true competitor. I mean, I can remember when this sport started, and it was about guys who wanted to fight. They didn't have to be drafted. They didn't have to be bribed. You didn't have to dangle a carrot in front of their face. They were begging for an opportunity. There wasn't very many places to compete. The places you could compete were filling up very fast. They were few and far between. And the fighters really wanted a chance. Somewhere over time, that's changed, where the fighters are just treated wonderfully. They really are treated wonderfully. I mean, from the accommodations to clothing that you're given, to the presentation, to the media opportunities, all the way down to all the cameras and bells and whistles that are set up, and paychecks and sponsorships on top of that. But they're treated so good now that it really is tough. I mean, it used to be a sport of men, and it's still my favorite sport. I'm not turning on the sport. I still love it, but it was a sport of men. Where if you came in and you had a lack of integrity, there was a day the boss sat you down on his couch and explained to you about responsibility. Where he didn't worry about your feelings, he talked to you about your goals. where you didn't tell him about your value. He talked to you about your obligation. Boys turned into men through this sport quickly. And now we're just seeing it the other way around. I don't know if we got any men left in this sport. They all appear to be little boys. I don't know who raised half of these guys, but whoever raised them sure as hell didn't teach them that your word is everything. Meanwhile, we expect leadership to keep their word. Oh, and by the way, they do keep their word, but you don't keep yours to them? Guys, it's real simple here, and it's not a nice message. But if we have Khabib under contract and we have Tony under contract, we either book a fight with them or one of them, or both, is quietly chickening out. And it's not only a chicken out of I don't want to do it, it's a lack of integrity because you're under contract, gentlemen. So either come together or come clean. That you don't. You're under contract, gentlemen. So either come together or come clean. That one or both of you doesn't want the fight. You just want to look like you want the fight. And where this ties into Justin Gaethje is as much as he may be on third base wearing a catcher's mitt right now, he is a guy who's a man who will back his word and who will step in there and fight. And you can always have this dialogue about the best guy, and he didn't come forward, because his skills are so dangerous. He didn't want to hurt the guy. You can do all that you want. In real sport, it's never worked that way, not from the beginning of time. The Olympic Games every 4 years, in every single sport, the best guy steps forward every single time and wins a gold medal. There has never been an Olympic Games in the history of Earth where a guy is wearing a medal, on the stand, his flag in the background, his national anthem playing, and you turn to one of your buddies and slap him and go, I could have done that, but I sat this Olympics out. It doesn't work that way. The best guy will step forward. This used to be a sport of adults. And if we're going the other way, then we're going the wrong way. Because I promise you, the best guy will step forward, no matter what. And if you don't want to be there, I got to tell you that I don't want you there. I never wanted to see a fight in my life where I knew one of the guys didn't want to be there. It's not right, and it's not what we're doing here. If you have a contract and you offer to fight, go do the fight or tell the truth. I'm not going to honor my contract. My father never taught me that rule. I don't know anything about being a man of your word. I only know about doing what's best for you at the time, getting what you can get when you can get. Okay, tell that too. If you were a scumbag and somebody raised you correct, tell us that. Stop lying. Start fighting.